Good evening, everybody, and we're going to get this baby running and rolling right away with our Second Amendment. Oh, Mike pulled it down, but I don't need it.
Yeah, there you go.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And I just kind of love doing that, Mike. I got my sister up there doing the national anthem, which I think she was shocked when I asked her if we could do that. And I think she does a great job with it. Hey,
Awesome
thanks
job.
everybody for listening on Twitter. I see Twitter's rolling in on Twitch. We got one on there, I think it is.
Hey, we got our good old one. There you go.
Braden is listening. That's my son's friend. Hi, Braden. Glad you and I'm betting you both are listening. I know he's staying over tonight, so they're probably
There you
upstairs. Anyway, so and I've been kind of lax on this lately, but I always like to do a prayer. Why don't we start with a prayer this evening, and then we won't forget at the end of the night. How about
There
that?
we go. There we go.
We'll just start out, Lord. We want to thank you for each and every day that you've blessed us with, and the freedoms that we enjoy in this country. I pray that you please let this country go on existing, but we have to be a moral society and we have to have you in our life. But we will trust in you 100%. I have complete faith, as does so many Christians, that we will prevail and we will be the country that takes your name and your word at its base and practices each and every day to fulfill it. We also want to pray for the families that lost children today, and anybody else, other family members. I don't have the details, but want to pray for those families in Georgia as they open school, and we had a school shooting today. So please keep those people and their family in your prayers as well. Lord, we just ask that you watch over each and every one of us, watch over our men and women that are protecting this country, and please show everybody how, if they come back to you and trust in you, everything will be fine. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. And that's how I feel. At this point, if you don't, I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I know, Mike, you're a faithful follower as well, and I know Eric, who's listening. So many are, and we got to do that more. I know a lot of other shows are doing that too, and it's a good thing. So, all right. With that, I think we got a full show tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the Georgia shooting.
Yep.
Not a lot of details out there. We're talking. I like the story, and that's why I said I wanted to talk about it. Hey, guess what? Illegal aliens don't have Second Amendment rights. Who knew, right?
Who knew?
Who knew?
Like it needed to be asked, but there's the question answered. So,
So I think that's going to be a great story. And New Zealand, interesting. As I met a guy from New Zealand when I was in the hills here a few weeks ago. Interesting gentleman, great guy to talk to, and that's why I found the story even more kind of interesting. Is they had like $200,000 worth of guns stolen. So we might touch on that. I might even bring that up a little bit on Mitchell in the morning as well. So, anyway, we got a great show for you guys. Mike does not have a badass this week. I'm sorry, everybody. But
I got swamped at work. You know how it is. Well,
busy, and I've been busy, and Mike does that, and he does a great job. And we're not going to hold it against. I guess we could load up an old one, but we did not. If we run out of things to say, imagine that, us running out of something to say, Mike.
Oh, there you go. That never happens.
I'm not going to say who it is, but I want to send out another prayer for a friend of mine that's, he had a rough day today, it sounded like, and just some things going on in his life that are being finalized, and we want to keep him in our prayers as well. Just make sure, and I know that he's a faithful follower as well of Christ, and just make sure that we pray for him and that he has God there by his side. So, all right. Well, which one do you want to start with, Mike?
Hey, well, let's go ahead and let's see. To tell you honest truth.
Here, before we do that,
yeah,
he says there's two sides of the gun control debate.
Oh,
those that are pro-gun and pro-Second Amendment, and those who are uninformed. Boy, that's so true, Gene. I run into guys who say, "Oh, I'm pro-gun." Oh, are you? Really? So what's it mean to you? And then you start talking, and well, as long as I got my shotgun, I can go hunting. And no, that is not.
That's not what it's about.
You're not pro Second Amendment. You might be a pro hunter, but Gene, you're absolutely right. They don't understand it, and I can't believe there's so many of them still out there that don't get what exactly is happening, especially when you see the other side of the debate. It isn't just a debate now of pro-gun, anti-gun. It's pro-America versus we hate America or take your rights away, and that's where we're at right now. We're seeing it. First Amendment, Second Amendment. pretty soon we'll be doing a third. We'll be quartering troops again. You know what I mean? Uh, Third Amendment. They'll be violating that. We'll have to quarter troops. But yeah, you're right, Gene. Absolutely, there are two sides of this debate. Those that are pro-gun and those that are pro-sex. I like that. Maybe that's a new T-shirt, huh?
There you go. We're always looking for a new T-shirt there. That's a good thing.
Jamie, he's chiming in. He says, "Good evening, boys." 701 Nation says, "MAGA, make America great again," and we're gonna have to. We definitely are. Hey, numbers are pumping up tonight. I noticed last week. Summer's over pretty much, and I noticed people are tuning in again. When we appreciate everybody tuning in, of course, our sponsors. Lauer Auto Repair down
Oh,
there in
where's my
309 South Washington, Bismarck, North Dakota, 701-258-6338. And I hope he likes the little sticker added to his cup there. I got Trump 2024. So,
Tell Axe I'm sorry. I left my cup upstairs.
oh, you naughty boy, right? All right. Well, so which one do you want to go with? You know what?
Uh,
Let's start it out light, and let's go to that what was it? The San Francisco 49er.
yeah, that I want to talk about.
Yeah,
Ricky
that.
Purcell. He is a first round draft out of 49ers, and he got robbed this week. And more than that, of course, he is an imposing big guy. But he was walking in the middle of the day, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and somebody came up to him with a gun, a 17-year-old suspect, of course, and wanted his Rolex and wanted his wallet and wanted everything else. End up shooting him. And it was a through and through. He got lucky. Didn't hit any organs, didn't hit anything like that. It was a through and through. But one of the things that is not being talked about on Fox News, and it's not being talked about on CNN, it's not being talked about on ESPN, it's not being talked about on a lot of the things, unless they bury it down the way bottom is that he took the gun away from the guy and shot him 3 times. So they are not saying that. They are not talking about that part of it. They do not want to show that, you know what, in that situation, if you had a gun and you can defend yourself, you'd be good to go. If you can take the gun away and take down a criminal, do that too. But they don't want to do that. That goes against everything that they want to talk about when it talks about Second Amendment. He did. He put 3 holes in that guy. That guy lived, but he's gonna be in. Well, he's 17, so Lord knows he'll. Oh, I lost you, Clay.
Oh, I'm here. Are you there?
There you go. Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Well, he's got 3 felonies, so I don't think he's going to get off scot-free this time. But and it was all for a Rolex. Are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll tell you what. I'll talk about that just like I would talk about these firearms that were stolen. We were talking about earlier that are so old and priceless that you can't really sell them, not easily, not unless you already got it set up with somebody.
Right.
And Rolexes are the same thing. You talk about diamonds, all have microscopic little codes in them, etched in them, so that they can trace them all. So if you steal something like that, if you steal Rolexes, those are well known too. You just don't.
They're all individual. I mean, it's not just buying like a Timex from Walmart or something. This is a very fine watch, but
Yeah.
And you look at it. It's out in San Francisco. Is that where this happened? Actually,
Yeah, San Francisco.
Yeah. You know who else used to be in charge of San Francisco in the process? Oh, that's right, Comrade Kamala. And is she to blame? Not directly, but she started the not, basically not prosecuting people out there for things. It hasn't changed at all out there, and now you have the crap hole of San Francisco that you have today.
Mm-hmm.
And I would imagine with they're not tough on crime. They don't prosecute nothing. That he'd probably get a slap on the hand. I mean, he's got 3 felonies already.
Right.
Okay, 3 previous, 3 priors. So and he's on the street. So he didn't learn much, did he? So I don't know.
Well, they've got him for.
I like what Dean said.
He's
Gene
been charged with attempted
California.
murder. He's been
You're
charged
gonna
with
make
attempted
her
murder.
hug.
Yeah. Enhanced allegations of an intentional discharge of a firearm and personal use of a firearm, assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and attempted second-degree robbery.
Yeah.
So there's more than just a few in there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this. We'll try to. I'm sure that it's going to be in the news for a while, and people are going to keep us updated on it because I'd like to know what's going to happen to this guy. I mean, he's 17. He's got 3 priors. Obviously, he's not learning much. So
Nope.
it's not like he just made a mistake and now he's 17. He's stupid, and give him a chance. He's had chances the way it sounds. So yeah.
Well,
Brian Warner, he says, I'm not going to let him steal my damn Timex either. That's
yeah,
right.
there you go. But I mean, think about that. I mean, you had a through and through come through you, and then you turn around, and by the grace of God, you don't die.
Yeah, hit
You
nothing vital.
you grab that gun and you flip it back on him, and you put 3 slugs in of his own slugs. And I think what we start calling that now, thug slugs.
Thug
You know,
slug. We don't have
when
the
you
paper
start
like
putting
people
when you
do.
start putting slugs inside the criminals, that's thug slugs. And we know what, we need more thug slugs out there. So, but they're not talking about that. They don't talk about that at all. That's
No.
not even part of the conversation. His defense, that he defended himself, kept himself alive. He actually stood over the guy and held some of the bleeding that he had. I mean, it shows the kind of that the guy is a decent guy. He shot him, but he still tried to take care of him after the fact. Once the guy was incapacitated. But I mean, it's just the stupidity of this too, and just completely. Oh, we got up there. Yeah, 701 Nation speaking for us. There we go, Jamie. It shows going to show you some towns. And now we got another story out there that's kind of in the same vein.
Well, here, just before we do that, though.
Yeah.
Let's just put up what Jamie says, because he's right. It says California has all Kamalas and the Democrats' gun control wet dreams except confiscation. And yet a player for a pro football team gets shot in downtown San Francisco. Impossible, right?
Impossible.
And that's just it. All these places that tell you we have to ban AR, we have to have assault weapons bans, we have to have magazine bans, we have to take all these guns out of the hands of legal people. Remember, law-abiding people.
Right.
These places have all this, right? Most of them have all these things. They even have waiting periods, but yet they still got the largest crime. Chicago, San Francisco, Washington, D.C. Look at Seattle. Look at Portland, Oregon. All the major cities that have all this gun control have the worst crime.
Right.
Gee.
Well, I continue on with it. Of course, talking about real quick, if I can show this. Darius Slay, I think that's his name, if I can remember it right. I got to look at it here a little better. But he plays for Philadelphia. And they are sending him, of course, they're playing in Germany this year, and they're playing in England, they're playing in Brazil. And he does not want to go to Brazil because they have told him that you will be escorted to your hotel room, you will stay in your hotel room, and then we will, by police escort you guys to the stadium. You will play, you will get your stuff, you will fly out, because it is so dangerous where they're going to be that they don't want any of their players walking around or doing anything in the town. And he's absolutely right. Why are you sending me somewhere with a crime rate this high? And this, by the way, is from a man from Philadelphia. So think about that.
Oh, yeah, he comes from Philadelphia. Not exactly an easy town, is it?
No, not an easy town, but he's the one saying, no, you know what? Don't send me to that hellhole. I've got my own hellhole to deal with.
Hey, checking out Rumble. Thanks, guys, to all our Rumble listeners. And we have people watching on both channels, and that's fine. So, yeah, we created the new one, but we still got people going to the old one and the new one. So, hey, we appreciate everybody over there. It just adds to everything. And thanks for the support. And make sure that you get around and thank our sponsors. If you're new to the program, Lauer Auto Repair right down there in Bismarck, North Dakota. We have Mandan Sporting Goods over in Mandan. They got a brand new building. Go check it out. Little Man Angry Arms, another great sponsor of ours, right there in Trail City, South Dakota. So if you need supplies, suppressors, handgun, South Dakota resident, go over to Trail City, because John could check it out and get you up and running. Bloodline Kinetics. Hey, Jacob has a great show, or great shop over there. He'll make you a custom gun. He's got suppressors. He threads barrels. I just can't say enough about him. So check out our great sponsors, and then tell them you heard it right here in Guns in the 701, and you appreciate them supporting us.
All right. Go. Great sponsors.
I feel like we haven't done enough of that, so I'm trying to do that and recognize those guys that keep us going. So, all right. So, did you have anything else you wanted to touch on that? I know we talked a little football, and we mixed it in with the Second Amendment, so that doesn't get any better than that, I guess.
It worked out for that, yeah. Of course, that all works out. And, we covered, of course, the guy from Philadelphia not wanting to go to a war-torn, ravaged hell, for a game. Yeah, he
Don't
knows
blame it.
his life is in danger. Why would I want to go there? You
Yeah,
know, so yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, we continue ignoring the stuff that is bad, but picks
yeah.
at sound goods and looks good. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
Gene says Trail City traffic is a nightmare.
What? Okay.
Oh, okay. Anybody that's listed doesn't know where Trail City is. Yeah, don't blink, you'll miss it. But just a little bitty town over there, and well, it's not. It's not on the eastern side. It's actually on the western side of the river, but it's way over on the far western part of South Dakota, you could say.
Right.
But yeah, John's got a great little shop over there. Little Man Angry Arms LLC, and yeah, we're. By the way, I talked to John. We are going to have him on. It might be next week or the week after. We're going to talk suppressors. NFA regs, what it takes to get one. That's North Dakota, South Dakota thing. He told me that he works with another one of our great sponsors, and that's Mandan Sporting Goods when he has a North Dakota sale and needs to go to North Dakota. So, hey, that's good to
Yep.
see that sponsors are working together, and suppressors are hot right now, and hunting seasons are coming. So, yeah, you're going to definitely want to do it.
Well, one of the things too I want to talk about tonight, and to get this out of the way before we have to take a break or something like that, we were talking about the firearms that were stolen, and I believe, if I remember correct, this was in Australia. Now, of course, Australia doesn't allow their citizens really to have guns anymore, except for very
Oh, in
few.
Australia or New Zealand? I don't
No, museum in Australia. The guns, of course, museum. Thieves stole 27 handguns worth more than $134,000. And that, of course, is a conservative number because some of these guns dated back to the 1700s. And we had a little clip from one of the guys on that as well. So, talking about the thieves as well.
know.
Guns were stolen from the museum. The offenders have shown some very good planning and ability to escape the scene fairly quickly.
Now, one of the things that's different than I know we had out in the hills, we had a couple of gun robberies in the last couple of years. I know in North Dakota, once in a while, that happens as well. Usually, it's a bunch of dummies that just get lucky and steal them. But I got to tell you, these types of guns, you can't just sell those on the street. You've got to have a buyer set up for stuff like that because that's not something that you can just, you know, put underneath your coat and be ready to shift off to somebody. So, there's some planning on that one. But yeah, it happens all over. And of course, some of the stuff is priceless. It can't be replaced. It's like anything else that's that old. Once it's gone, it's gone. So it's also putting.
They had one pistol dates back to the 1700s.
Mhm.
A lot of them were antiques, and the officials were worried that many of them are still operational. I gotta get a funny kick out. They're operational and can end up in the hands of criminals. You can't make that up. I mean, he actually said that. That was one of the investigators.
That's his first thing. That's his first problem right there. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my God.
well, they already were stolen by criminals who were
Yeah.
criminals. Now I sound like Kamala. And the criminals do criminal acts, so then the criminals get a hold of them, and then they give them to other criminals.
And you know what? That makes them
I won't
criminals.
sell it. It makes them criminals. Yeah, I just thought that. That's what he said. I was like, yeah, right here. Here's a direct quote. We are especially concerned about these firearms being in the hands of criminals in Lauer, Lithgow, and all the communities in between. The
Mhm.
NSW Drugs and Firearms Squad Commander, Detective Superintendent John Watson stated.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, some of this stuff, you're right. When you look at it, very, very historical guns that date back to World War One, World War Two. It looked like you said, some of these in the 1700s. You can't really replace them. I mean,
And
really,
on the other side of that too, it's like they might use these for crimes as what clubs?
it's
Lord
cool.
knows where do you get the ammo from stuff from the 1700s? I mean, other than a
Here's
piece
what
of lead.
I think they're going to find that this was actually it was orchestrated by somebody who wanted those for their collections. I mean,
Right.
that's what it sounds like to me.
And those will stay in a private collection. You'll never see them ever again.
Never see them again. But look at that. There's the Toyota that they torched. That was their getaway car. How about that
Oh
one?
yeah,
They
they had a
torched that
plan.
baby. Yeah. it was burnt out in Bathurst. Yeah, I don't know where these are, but
Oh no, we got a good point coming up here right now from a few people. I think Gene said it best here. If I can find my chat here real quick, but
here, I can put it
1700s. May not have a serial number.
It probably don't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Secretary of Weapons Museum, Kerry Gurin, said that some of the guns stolen were almost 150 years old. Well, yeah, from the 1700s and 1800s, they would be, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame, honestly, just the historical loss of those kinds of guns. I'd be devastated if I lost some of my, what I consider highly collectible in my collection.
Well, you remember in the 90s when they started their confiscation down in Australia, and they had those piles and piles and piles of guns that they destroyed. I mean, that is a sad shame in itself right there. I mean, you just think about the history that was lost in a lot of that. And that's what this country wants to see done as well. So, they want to see those same things. They want to see piles of guns, except for the ones they want. Completely melted down to slag, and all of us sitting back here with we've taken away your guns. Now we got to make sure none of you have any bows, and then we're going to work on slingshots, and let's work on anything else that you can use for dangers, and as well. So
yeah, and the factory goes back since 1912. It was supplying firearms to their military forces over there. I said it brought Australia back after the Second World War with commercial enterprises. And yeah, there's a picture there too. I should have loaded these up, but I was busy like you were today. So right there is their empty exhibit. Yep. And this museum was at that exact firearms munitions plant. So at the Lithgow Small Arms Factory Museum, it was right there at right at the place where they made the firearms. Yeah, it's a bad deal. As far as I know, I was checking right before the show. They have not found these people yet. Who knows if they ever will? Sounds like it's 3 of them. They're asking everybody to, check their cameras and anything they've got and can supply any information.
All right. Well, there's a lot of land that's uncovered in Australia that you can easily, get around cameras and whatnot. So, it's a vast, very vast area. So like I said, it's probably in someone's private collection by now. So,
and I think it's more of that. I don't think they just randomly picked this place. They knew there were some pretty cool guns in there, and it probably some pretty high paying dollar people that said, "Hey, can you pull this off?" Yeah, I think we can do it. And they did. And now they're in a private collection. I like Gene's Cox. That's great, Gene. He says the original ghost gun.
There you go.
Ghost gun. All right, Mike, let's take a break here and then thank some sponsors, and then we'll come back. And I don't know, I'm feeling low energy tonight, so hopefully it's not coming across that.
Well, that's okay, because I'll hit this for you, because this made you chuckle last week. So we'll kick this. We hitting a double clip or a single? Or we're in a double? All right, I'll hit this first.
اللي بيحاربوا الاسلام بيحاربوا النبي هؤلاء هذا الثاني
Some people just don't get us, right?
That is good.
That's the wrong one. Sorry about that.
I'm from the Athlete's Foot Foundation.
Brother, hey, can you get my demo tape to somebody?
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
And we are back. Oh, what happened?
We are back. What was that?
Sure. What's
Oh,
going
your
on?
microphone's being a little messy for me.
Huh. Are we back? Are we okay now?
Yeah, we're good now.
I have no clue what that was. Must be NSA tapping in. So I went over to Twitter actually during the break. Maybe that's what happened there. And I noticed that some of the comments, like Brian made a comment over there. He says the best thing about football season is hunting season, and it did
Yep.
not come through. I noticed that a lot of them are coming through, but so I don't know. Maybe that'll be the next thing we're going to actually. Oh, there it is. Finally, I see.
There, I
it.
see it down there now. Yeah.
All right.
Well, speaking about hunting season, real quick, just for a quick, of course, you want to talk about your deer for just a second that you found, the one you've been scoping for a couple of years?
Yeah, I had EHD roll through here well, it's been 3 years ago, and it took out. Well, you were out here. Remember, there was no tail left, and mule deer moved in and got some great mule deer on this place too. But I'm telling you, this was not. I've been watching this deer all summer. I knew he was around last year. He made it through the season, which I was fantastic. I was great. I was just like, this is great. He's a good deer, and several nice bucks made it through. And he stayed on our place, and he never really left. He was gone a little bit this summer, but he still kept coming back. Anyway, unfortunately, this is how I found him today.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Not good. That's a beautiful deer. He's got a lot of mass. He had a lot going for him. I don't know if EHD did it. I don't know what else it would have been. I can see the coyotes have been eating on him. He wasn't so far gone. I think it's pretty fresh. But it's just sad to see that. I mean, this is a nice deer.
Mm-hmm.
And there he is down in my creek, and he was near water. That's the big thing. If you look at this close-up one, you can see that it's in velvet, but the antler's pretty much formed there. So, I mean, it's not like it's going to be any shrinkage like you see them when they're early.
Right.
And then they start, becoming an antler. Yeah, I got this feeling being where I found them that, that's pretty typical when they're suffering from EHD. They run a fever, and them are flies on him. If you're wondering what them spots are, that's all flies.
Yeah.
And which is, understandable, I guess. I mean, it's a rotting carcass. But you can see the back straps are gone, the hindquarters are gone. So, but that doesn't mean it's been there a long time. A few coyotes can just take that out in a matter of minutes, really. So that was a sad one to see because that would have been a nice deer. The upside of it is I hope he was breeding all them does he was with last year, and they survived and passed them genetics along. In our garage, from when my father-in-law was here, there are a lot of racks. I think I've showed you that in the garage, haven't I?
Yeah.
Out here, and there's a lot of racks that look like that. So them genetics run on our place. Along when you go over west to our other side, like the one I have on the wall upstairs, or even the one back here, those genetics run pretty strong through here. So we've got definitely 3 sets of genetics that produce big deer if they get a chance to live. But I was the whitetails were just coming back. So
Yeah. Hey, I had this one. Of course, Eric was asking, why does Bloodline Kinetics do the outline of Texas when they're in North Dakota? Just curious. And I understand why, because Texas, a lot of those guys and gals down there have a lot of disposable income. And so they buy things online. And I can see that. Right? You go where the disposable
well,
income is.
and actually, there's a little bit more to that. When he was first getting started up, he was working with somebody out of Texas, so that was it was a basically like a partnership, and that's part of the reason why. So that's he did that engraving, so we used it in the promo just because it looked pretty cool. But it's actually quite old, so
Yeah.
hopefully that answers the question. But that's what the deal is there, and I think he still has a lot of. He does a lot of business with that company. I don't know if it's for barrels or what it is, but the whatever it is down there in Texas, he still does do a lot of stuff with them guys. So yeah. By the way,
yeah,
I got to mention our North Dakota Farm Bureau Freedom Delivery System raffle is going to be up and running here very shortly. We got the Freedom Delivery System. I guess I'm watching what I say because we're getting watched everywhere, guys. But it is finished. It looks great. I'll go through my email, see if I can grab some pictures that she sent me today. And I think you're going to like it. It's another 1911, and it is completely different than what we've had in the past, but it's another 1911. So it's like the series. And next year, I think we finally got the deal made where we're going to actually have a lever action and a revolver that will be somewhat serialized like each other. And I think we're going to do a 45 Colt just because we can chamber then both of the rifle and the revolver. I think it'd be kind of a cool thing.
I've been seeing a lot of push on some companies. I think even Henry and some others with the 357 with the rifles and the pistols. They got their pistol now.
They do. We're kind of going for the cowboy action thing.
Yeah, I kind of like that. So, I mean, you remember back 15 years ago when Cowboy Fast Draw was at its peak. Yeah, I mean, they were selling hand over fist all the guys out there. That's my I wish I never sold gun. My Vaquero, my Ruger Vaquero. But yeah, I mean,
I had a lot of fun when I show up there, and remember we did that. I think we did that Stasis, didn't we?
Yeah, we did that Stasis, and we also did it over at Mr. Miles, Sheriff Miles.
There it is, right there. So as you can see, that it's a black one this year, but it's got gold and there's some nickel embellishments in there. If you look real close, probably can't see it real good on a small phone or computer, but so we'll be getting that out very soon. And they did a fantastic job with this. They 24 karat gold and put gold on all the little intricate parts. That's what I really wanted the most of. And then we designed rather than making a North Dakota Farm Bureau grip, we actually went with the Hereford Bull.
Right.
There were a lot of back and forth. That's why it took a little longer in that design, and we had to work with what they had too, especially under the time constraint that we were under because we're a little behind the 8 ball on this one. But I think they just did a fantastic job with this gun, and I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I really am.
So you put Hereford on a 1911. What would you put an Angus Bull on? I know you're a big fan. You're a big fan. Clay's like, I won't even put it on my plate. There you go.
Yeah. I wonder if they got up there. You can see the top of that. That's a cowboy that's got his horse reared up, and I think it looks pretty cool.
That's beautiful.
And then on the side is, I believe, a longhorn. I don't even remember what we did there. Is it maybe it's a buffalo? No, it's a buffalo skull if I remember right. So
right.
But they did a great job once again. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and we'll be doing tickets $20 a piece, and we're only selling. I gotta look that up. I think we're only doing 300 this year, or was it 250 again? 250 or 3. I'm not sure. I gotta look at the minutes of the meeting because I just don't remember. So
this is
I'm very happy, very pleased with it.
This is the point where I try to text my wife and keep her busy while I'm telling you at the same time I'm texting you that put me down for like 10 tickets.
Yeah. Well, I ended up buying quite a few of the last one, and I still didn't win, but that's okay. I knew it was a donation, and that's the way that goes.
No, you can never be like that. I told my dad a long time ago when he was he spent a lot of money at a banquet, and he didn't buy. He was like going for all the. There's like 12 key items, and one of them was on a silent auction, and then he bought like 10 out of the 12 different things, and he lost. And I'm like, well, unless you buy all of them,
Yeah, there's always that chance, isn't
There's
there?
always that chance. So there you
And
go.
you got to remember, we use this money to put on like September 28th when we have our annual meeting coming up. We're bringing in a cowboy action shooter again down there in Carson, North Dakota. So it's a great little facility. It's right there on the fairgrounds. We can go over there and have some fun. They can show you a little cowboy action shooting mounted. And then we have a great feed. I believe the guys got a full hog purchased at the fair a couple weeks ago. And we're having a D&T catering do this. So
Right.
I think that's going to be great. They're going to roast that whole hog, and it's going to be free to everybody. Come and enjoy the evening. Yes, it's our annual meeting, so we want you to stick around. And if you're a North Dakota resident, join. It's a great organization. We do a lot of things, and that's what we do with this money. We do things like that, and we're planning something bigger. We would have had it this year, but the scheduling didn't come out with the caterer. So here we are.
Yeah.
We're doing it here in September, but next year's we're planning to do it either right after Labor Day, that following week, or maybe before it in August, maybe 2 weeks after the fair.
Right.
Because we got plans. We really want to take. We really want to have something cool where it's something you want to come to, and we're going to do it right there in Carson. So look forward for that for next year. But this year, cowboy action shooting coming up September 28th. I'll get more information up here by next week so everybody can see it. Probably even put it on some of our other stuff. Give us a little free plug for the Grant Sioux County.
I'm going to send you a flyer too from our good friends, the former friends of NRA Banquet here in Mitchell. They have, and it's now South Dakota Shooting Sports, where they kind of branched out on their own. They're starting their own thing up. And they've got a thing at the Corn Palace in Mitchell coming up on the 14th, and they're doing tables and more. They've got, a lot of the games and everything. 14th of September. So coming up just right around the corner, me and Jack are going to be there doing a little volunteering for that as well. So yeah, it's going to be another good one. So yeah, doesn't matter. They might have changed what they were doing. The big thing that they changed was because the NRA, they said, was asking for too much for the administration fees, and they thought that
it was up $10,000 now, I think.
Yeah. So
there was some changes that took place within the program. I'm still, I know some don't think it, but I'm still pretty connected with that world in a sense, and I still talk to a lot of the old reps that are still there that let me kind of know what's going on. And we've got Josh. Josh is a RACS team member, and he's still a rep out there in Indiana. So
right.
we still got connections out there. Yeah, the admin, it started including a lot of other things, and that was with the whole restructuring. As you know, NRA is going through a lot of things structural wise within the organization, and it needed to. It did.
Yeah.
Hey, how many times did you tell me that? Did you hear me say, "Hey, I think it's time for Uncle Wayne to step down. He needs to retire because he's not. He just didn't. He was losing his step, and I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't exactly a young man anymore. So
no.
Yeah. Anyway, it's no. So I'm glad to hear that. I can't make it though, Mike. I thought about coming over, but Jamie will be coming down that weekend. Youth Deer will be open down here. So.
Oh, really?
We're going to take his daughter out. My son can actually hunt, but he can hunt in the regular season too. We'll just have to see where that goes. Honestly, if he wants to take one, he can. But I think he's planning to wait until the actual regular deer season and go out with me. So.
Well, Jack's got his whitetail up there in your area, so we're looking forward to that this year coming up in November. So that's going to be another great one.
PhD don't get them.
Well, yeah, but it's. I know, and that's the thing is, but it's the things I would not replace for anything with to hang out with my family and go out and hang out with you guys, and go out and I have more fun running around talking shit while we're out there with our family and our friends and stuff like that.
We have a lot of fun.
Hell, I remember you with that old Ford panel truck you had beating the hell out of me driving through your cornfield. Because there's no padding anywhere in that truck. So my shoulder's leaning against the door, trying to look out the door, and I'm banging like this, and it's all metal and freaking barbed wire and everything. It's just what it felt like anyway. So yeah, it was pretty massive. I'm not as young as I used to be. I don't bounce back anymore. But that's all
right. Well, none of us are, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to just put this out here, everybody. I'm already getting text messages. So if you want some of these tickets, by the way, I just got all this stuff today, so the tickets are not printed, just so you for complete disclosure, but I'm sending the stuff to the gal tomorrow, so hopefully they'll be printed. It's Thursday. I don't know. There's new ownership there where I was always getting these done, so I don't have a lot of confidence they'll be done till next Monday. But if you want, you can. I'm going to put it up there. They're $20 a piece. Just text me at my number. Tell me how many you want, and at 605-430-9503. Yeah, there's another, and people are already doing it. So
yeah, I'm getting it too on my end from my father-in-law to my new boss and everything like that. They're all asking the same thing, saying, "Hey, set aside a ticket for me." So there we go. So,
right. So I'm already at about 40 tickets.
well, I got 10. I got 10 right here that people have already asked for. So
And I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys supporting that. And it always, and where it said, I should have been more prepared. Can't remember what we passed in the minutes. It's either 250 or 300, and we're bringing it back, going back old school. Hey, Eric wants to text me that, Eric. And if I have them by the time we come down this weekend, definitely bring them with me. So
yep,
absolutely. So yeah, looking forward to getting those sold and having a great drawing. I'm hoping to sell them out, honestly, by our annual meeting and give that away there. But we'll see.
That would be good. That would be good. I don't think
All
you're gonna
right.
have a problem with that.
I don't think so either. So, well, we've done enough of that kind of stuff. Quickly, I'm going to just hit on the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals out of New Orleans. Dave says, pencil me in for that lucky ticket. And Dave, you and I got to talk because I sent them the FFL deal, and that way I think they're going to ship it right to you. So it's going to be shipped directly to you. And we might not even have to do anything else with it because I think it'll be sold out by then. So we'll see. All right, Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans. You're going to love this. Ruled Monday, illegal aliens have no right under the Second Amendment to bear arms. Wow. They took a court decision for that? I guess I thought that was implied by not being a citizen. I have never understood this, Mike. Maybe I'm wrong. I doubt it. But I always understood that if you're not a citizen of this country, you don't get nor are you afforded the rights that are guaranteed to citizens under our constitutional and our amendments. Am I wrong?
This is a thing that is commonly misunderstood. When people come here, they think they automatically have all the rights afforded to them as a United States citizen. But if you go anywhere else, suddenly you're screwed. You go to the Caicos Islands and you have a 22 shell, an empty 22 shell that's left over in your luggage or something like that, you're looking at jail time for years and years and years.
They detain you. They keep you there. You got to go to court. Your family has to go back home because, they got to get home, probably go home and work so they can pay for your lawyer. And you'll probably still be found guilty, although it hurt the Turks and Caicos so bad that they decided that they were going to drop charges. Remember that?
Yeah. That's
because no one was going there after that.
Yeah. Well, who would go? I mean, why would you go?
I'll never go there. I know that they'll change again, but yeah, that's just it. We are the only country that. Oh, I mean, we're got.
Let me go ahead and we've hinted around a little bit, but I've talked about I've hinted about some of the stuff that's happened for me in Guatemala 30-something years ago.
Yep.
And the thing about it is that I went on a walkabout. I went traveling through Mexico all the way down to that hellhole.
Brazil and.
Yeah, well, I made it all the way down. Well, I got stopped in Guatemala City, because of a bullshit reason, and they basically had
wait
me.
A second. You were protected by the Constitution, right?
No, I wasn't, as a matter of fact. But what I was is that they put me and a bunch of other gringos in certain cells, and they were going to basically they were doing what they were doing to everybody. They were making them call their homes, tell them that they broke the law doing X whatever, which was bull, and then they needed to pay $5,000 here and there or whatever for whatever to get you cleared, and that was your fee to get out. And otherwise,
they're extorting money.
Yeah, well, here's the problem is that I wasn't traveling under my ID. So it's fine. I was there and they had an ID, but there was no one for me to call because I wasn't that person. I mean, it's a different age back in the late 80s, early 90s. Is a different age. And I was traveling. I was somebody else. like I said, I've never broke the law in the United States, but hey, whatever.
Matter,
Yeah, so whatever. But anyway, so the thing about it is that, if I told them I was not the person on my ID, well, I'd be screwed on that. And so basically, I ended up going to a beautiful place, Frederico Morrow. I got sick in the jail, and they sent me off to Frederico Morrow, and that is well, you can always Google it. It's a wonderful hospital prison. Let me remember when we talked about the guy who broke into Auschwitz. He would have thought this place was. Yeah. Anyway, it was pretty close. It cost me part of my lung because I got gassed in there from some idiot and all kinds of other stuff. So
How long were you in there for?
Probably about 6 months.
Wow.
And it is there's a lot of stories about that place, but I mean, Frederico Morrow was in Guatemala is just a.
So while we're on it, I mean, you and I have talked about this, but I would imagine, and I'm going to ask the question knowing the answer already, but I think everybody else maybe wants to hear it. So when you got back, did that give you more of an appreciation for what we do have as United States citizens?
When I finally got out of there, and of course I went farther south and made it to all the way down to Panama, and I was working in Panama for a while. But yeah, I mean, geez, you think about you get that. You get people crying all the damn time because they go to foreign countries and they think that they have the rights as a citizen.
We're Americans.
Yeah, we're Americans. And you know what? It don't work that way. And you've got to think about it while you're here. You better enjoy these rights. And these are the rights that people are pissing away as we speak. But hey, they want to do away with that, and they want to give away all our rights. But I can tell you from personal experience, you're going to go down to some of these foreign countries. You want to bring that to here, and you want to bring that mentality to here. I don't. That's not what I want.
And that's a great point. And you ain't the first guy I've had tell me that when they travel abroad, whether it be down there, over in Europe or other places, they're like, it ain't the same. They don't have rights. They don't have a Bill of Rights. They don't have a Constitution. They don't have these protections from their government. And they do whatever they want. I mean,
and
and people don't understand that here. They take it for granted each and every day. It's not being taught in the schools like it should be. That's part of the problem. If you think about it, Mike, if you're not taught the freedoms and things you have, how can you know you lose them?
That's what they want. They want you to not know that you just lost all your freedoms. Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
So,
well,
there was a guy that I was down in the jail with me when I was there before I got really sick. That mouthed off, and they stuck a knife in his thing and did the Chinatown thing with his nose. Mm-hmm. So it just sliced right through it. And there was years later, actually, he was in radio as well, and I never knew because I wasn't in radio then. I ran into him. He's got a big Jim Blossom nose on the side, so he's got a face for radio now. But you know what? That's one of the things. You raise your voice, you puff out your chest and all that. You know who I am. Yeah, that shit don't fly in other countries. So
you go over there and say, "Well, I'm an American." That could actually hinder you, honestly.
But here's the thing: is that you come here, we don't do that to you. I mean, they want to say all these horror stories that we're doing down on the thing. I'm sorry that people are in these buildings that are air conditioned or heated or whatever. And yeah, I'm sure I know the reason why they give them those emergency heat blankets and all that is because you don't have to worry about. Well, cloth stuff holds bugs and holds this and holds that, and that's just spread stuff. So. Hey, that's crap. So they always want to show it. It's like, well, all they got are these emergency blankets, and they're so they don't have anything else to sleep on. Well, you know what? It's just but there are worse places. I mean, we do pretty damn well in comparison. I mean, to what we had down there. I mean, you're talking about the ultimate filth and everything else, and crazy and everything. And you can be, we always used to joke, what's the old thing for North and South Dakota, with like coyotes and whatnot, shoot, shovel, and shit, or shoot, what is it? I forget. Oh, shoot, shovel, and shut up. There you go.
There you go.
And that's the thing is that it's just, it's not
I'll show you.
Oh,
I want you guys to see this. I mean, we're on this subject. And where do you think this is?
I'm gonna guess that's probably here.
Yeah, unfortunately. Somebody firing a gun. This is not Mexico. It's not Guatemala. That is not any place other than Dallas, Texas right now.
That's Texas.
It just has happened. I just seen it come up here, and yep, violent illegal alien gangs taking over American cities. Watch as this group of Venezuelans beat a helpless man in Dallas as gunshots are fired off in the background.
And then you talk about in Colorado where they've got people taking over entire apartment complexes right now, and people are trapped in those apartment complexes because they're too afraid to come out.
And if you did that, if you go just to Mexico as an American citizen and go do something like that, you're going to rot in one of their prisons probably for the rest of your life. I mean, you can't even own land in Mexico. I don't know if people realize if you're not an actual born native of Mexico, and I'm not talking jump the border and be an anchor baby. No, you have to be of their descent. Did you know you can't own land in their country?
Nope.
And all the businesses that go down there, like Ford and other ones that have plants down there, did you know they don't own the property? They actually have to put on staff somebody a Mexican national, born there, on their staff, and they own the building, they own the land. And we have so much freedom here, and people just piss it away. They don't understand. And then you see this happening in our country. And those will happen to be Venezuelans. Right now, that seems to be the thing, the Venezuelans. But I imagine there's much more. I can tell you right now, Mike, even in this area, I'm starting to see, I know they're illegals popping around. They're not these EB5 workers. They're people. I mean, when you look at the license plates of the vehicles, they're not passing through. They're starting to come up here, and I imagine something's going to happen that's not going to be good. I know that I keep getting told over here in Bullhead, some of these places on the reservation, we've got M1 or MS1 gangs that are still there, and they came up during the riots, but they're starting more coming. This isn't good. This isn't good.
No, and we've drove through Bullhead and different places, and it's like what?
I took you down there. Remember that?
Yeah, it's what if you I did not have enough ammo on me if shit went down.
We were packing, weren't we?
That was a freaking war zone area. And I was looking at the guys that were contracted to go down there and build some of the houses down there. And I'm thinking, man, you can't turn around from your tools. You can't, anybody walking up on you, anything like that. You never know when any shit's going to happen. So it's crazy.
Well, when we were working at the McLaughlin High School back when I was still doing some of that work, it was like being in a prison. It took a ring of keys to get through all the doors to get to where we were going. And we had to be done at 5:00 because that's when security locked the place down and nobody could be in there. And they said, you don't want to be here. Our crew was used to working and getting the job done, and we'd work till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night because, well, I guess I was an asshole boss and I made them work. But but they liked it. They got overtime. They were okay with it. We were there to work. I'm telling you, that was not a nice place. And whether they liked it or not, yes, I didn't carry in the building, but I guarantee you, I had means of defense in the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I could get to my vehicle, I could at least defend myself. But we had to have our box. We had our great big box, a metal one, locked. It would have taken more than 3 guys or 4 to even carry it. But, we carried it in with a forklift. But if you didn't put everything in there, probably wouldn't be there in the morning. If you left it out, somebody would get it. And that was in a lockdown school.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
What's Doug got here? Can they still be in law enforcement and enforce unconstitutional gun laws?
That's a great question, Doug. They were talking about that. It did get shot down in Illinois. I seen that there was a judge that basically made a ruling, and so that's been put off now in Illinois temporarily until you get some liberal judge that overturn. Remember, Biden has appointed more judges in all these other lower courts than Trump got done. I think double. So it's not going to be good for somebody. California, though, I think is allowing these illegal aliens to serve on their police forces,
We've
carry
seen that
guns, and enforce our
in
laws.
sections of LA. In sections of LA, they are allowing.
So we're going to let illegals come into this country, possess a firearm, give them a badge, basically a license to shoot at people. Wow. Eric, he makes a good point here. He says, my daughter had her eyes open when we were in Bullhead. Yeah, Bullhead is, I've been there many times. There used to be a little store there. I don't even think that's open anymore. It's not a nice place. I know Vance was very familiar with Bullhead. He was actually a minister out here. And that's that's originally how he got out here.
Yeah.
He was basically trying to be a missionary to the tribal members and the Indian people there. And he was doing a good job, honestly. He had quite a few people that were attending, but I imagine now there's not much going on down there because when he left and went back to Georgia and Florida, went back to where he was from, I imagine nobody picked that up and done it because no one else wanted to do it. It's kind of sad, really. I know Waylon was attending, and that was good to see. It really
Well,
was.
and I know that people that have done huge coyote hunts for charity and whatnot, and raised tons of money, and then had it turn around, and all the money's just gone. Didn't go to anything, didn't go to anybody, didn't go to any funds, just disappeared. Then they were all pushing for, hey, let's do another one. No, I'm not funding you to be a criminal.
Well, I know which one you're talking about, and I donated a rifle to that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was right up here, over in that area. And yeah,
well, you want to help out the guys. You want to help out the guys and girls that are actually doing it for a good cause. But then when tribal authorities and other people just go ahead and take everything,
the money just gone. The district
just gone.
No
accountability,
and no one knows why or where or how. No account. Well, they had that little bar and grill over there on the other side of McLaughlin for years, and then it closed. I think the tribe bought it. They opened it up, and within 2 years it was broke again.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's the problem. You can't just throw money at things. You got to teach people how to actually use it and make more money with it and run a business if that's what you can do. I mean, they had those kind of them cabins up there and a little restaurant there at the top of the hill in Bullhead. I actually ate there with Waylon a few times with good food. Buck Williams and them guys, we'd eat there. Wasn't a very nice looking place. The cabins were okay. They spent way too much money because they don't ask anything, and I'm not going to get into the details, but I could have built that for half the money, still made a hell of a profit, and done it quicker for what they did. And we talked about that a bunch. I was like, hell, next time that comes up, maybe we'll bid on it, But it was pretty bad, and then, I don't know, it went broke. I think it lasted 3 years, and then it was out of business. That's too bad because you've been to Bullhead. There's nothing there, right? That was a nice little place to go and eat. If you wanted to get a good meal and the food was there, it was good. It actually was.
Well, you can see the houses that are gone to gangs, and then you can see the houses that are belonging to people that work for a living and basically scrape together everything they can to keep wires and bars on their doors and everything else, and floodlights and whatever. And I guarantee you exercising the Second Amendment right. And here's the deal. It's like, it's just shit house, and then somebody trying to survive.
Yes. And remember the school? I showed you where the school complex.
Oh, the barbed wire. Yeah, all the way around.
Prison, didn't it?
Yeah.
It had the chain link fences with the barbed wire all the way around it. The staff lived within that compound, and that's what that was. That was and it was all lit up. It looked like daytime in the middle of the night, didn't it? Gene Cox, I'm back. I'm hearing about Bullhead. Yeah, we're just talking about Bullhead, and basically it looks like a third world country down there. And when the Second Amendment, like you said, Mike, I'm very sure is exercised quite often there. You about have to.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there are some good people that live around there.
That's what I'm saying. There are good people that get stuck in that.
Absolutely.
And have to
some of the
eke out
back in the day, and they were pretty cool to go to, but I don't know if they even do it anymore. I imagine they do.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing that river that flows through there, and it just looks like that's where they dump everything.
Yeah.
I remember took some pictures of it when they were rioting about a pipeline going across the river. up here. And yet I go down the Bullhead and look at that little river and go, "Oh, evidently water ate life there.
Yeah,
It
well,
looks like a sewer." But
between the cars and the appliances and everything else that was just dumped right over there, yeah, it
yeah,
was amazing.
pretty bad, wasn't it? So yeah, Bullhead is an interesting place. I've been I live here, so I've been all over. I'm sure Gene, he's listening. He's probably been to all these places as well.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that everyone's bad there, but they got bad elements there, and I don't know what you do with them because Tribe isn't doing anything. I know Waylon talked about it all the time. Waylon lived in a great spot because he's there, but he's away from it all.
Right. Well, back in the 80s, and I was like, I've got my problems with certain things that were done. The broken window philosophy, whereas, you allow somebody to break a window and you don't do anything about it. And then the next thing you know, it's spray paint. And the next thing and it all spirals down into the degradation of the community. So you don't let that happen. And now there are certain ways that was abused, that whole policy, but it does make sense in an altruistic way that you are. I see these guys and girls that have homes that are trying to maintain a symbolism of
Right.
safety and protection for their family. Normalcy. And yet you step out a few feet outside your door and it's all gone to hell. And that's happening in so many different places. You guys up in North Dakota, me here in South Dakota, there are so many times that I see activity happening when I drive my motorcycle, just willy-nilly, pick a road and go. And you see activity happening at old farmhouses that have been abandoned for years. And you wonder what's going on there because you know what? There ain't nobody out there, doing anything constructive, and I wonder about it sometimes. There's a lot of negativity, a lot of bad stuff coming into our areas, buying up those properties and or just squatting those properties, really. So yeah.
Gene, he said something here, and I haven't been to that park in a couple years, Gene, but he talked about their Veterans Park, and there was a doughboy statue. Of course, that's from World War I. Gene, as far as I know, it's still there. I can tell you the last time I was there, it is interesting that with all the badness, all the bad people, they don't touch that stuff. And I know there are some very, very patriotic tribal members that respect that. They keep that up, and they still were. Now, Gene, I haven't been there, but yeah, and you're right. There's only a couple of those left, those World War I memorials, and I will tell you that those that fought and served, they carry that with them. And when you talk to them, it's a great conversation, like it is with any of those veterans. And now, we pretty much are losing I don't even think there's any World War I vets left, and probably World War II is very small. I mean, that 1940s. Think about how old them guys are.
Yep.
And now we've got the Korean and Vietnam, and of course the new wars, I would call them, the Iraq, both of them, and then Afghanistan. But last time I was there, Gene, it was still being upkept. It was still there. So I guess maybe I'll have to go over. I got to go over to Wayland's anyway. He's got a target that the boys out of Brainerd left for me. It's my other presidential target. He's licking ice cream, so I got to get that. I should go over and visit with him anyway. So I have to try and get over there. Maybe I'll run in there and take a look. Maybe me and Waylon will take a drive down, as he says, the old Blackbird Mexican Trail. So
there you go.
So I'll tell you what. Let's do it quick. We went way off course, and that's fine. Everyone tells me that we do our best work when we're ad-libbing, so that's just fine with me.
Well, we want to talk about Jamie and 701 Nation coming up, and when we get back, and see what else we got going on.
And I'm gonna go a little bit into this, still on this illegal alien thing, because I think I know what's going to happen with this. So anyway, let's take a quick break. We will be back after that, and we'll go over a couple things and wrap her up for the night.
So how many commercials do you want to hit on? A quad on this one?
Well, yeah, we got to do all 4.
All right, we'll hit that one.
309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck, Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
Yeah, hey, look, I got the moves like Michael, the flow like Aubrey, walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in, know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink up my stilo, head to the top, bottom line is a motto.
You know, I have to laugh at that with Arnold because you sent me that little figurine thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's from Predator, right? Isn't that one?
No, that's from Commando.
Okay, I couldn't remember which one.
Not one of his.
I gotta bring something up I missed here. Lynette says media is being very selective on the shooting outside New Salem. All of his social media has disappeared. No photo. I hadn't heard about that, Lynette. Are we talking New Salem, North Dakota? Because if that's the case, I haven't heard about that, but I was kind of busy here the last day or two. So please fill me in because I hadn't heard about a shooting outside in New Salem if it's in North Dakota. So yeah, anyway.
Have to pick up on that one, yeah.
If it is, boy, that's something we definitely want to get on top of. So anyway, getting back, so we, that whole conversation brought us from illegal aliens, right?
Right.
Well, and that the judge out of New Orleans, and this is Judge James Ho. He's a conservative circuit court judge. He was appointed by former President Donald Trump, and he's the one that ruled against this. And to me, this is going to have huge implications. I imagine it's going to be appealed because that's what they do, right? They keep losing, so they try to change rules. They appeal, whatever. This could have some huge implications if it gets up to the Supreme Court because that's going to change a whole lot of things too. Because right now they're trying. If you look at the 4473s, they're trying to segregate that. They're trying to really, I think, push the narrative that anybody should have a gun. It isn't on there yet, but I've heard talk, and I think it's a very, very important judgment because it's not just Second Amendment rights. And
Mhm.
what we've been saying for years, they have no rights here. So that should take care of any problems, especially you get a guy like Trump back in there, and it should open the door for him then to start eliminating these people and get them out of here because they don't have any business being here. I got in a big argument with my uncle on this. Well, they're just here for a better life. I don't care. They come legally then, and I don't believe in
Mhm.
anchor babies either. I've never believed in being able to run across the border, drop a baby, and boom, they're United States citizen. I don't believe in that kind of birthright citizenship. If your parents aren't citizens, then you aren't automatically a citizen of the United States because you were born here on our soil. You don't get that privilege anywhere else. Most countries don't allow that. One parent at least has to be a citizen to have dual citizenship.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my thing on there. I'm glad to see it's actually finally showing up. And oh, hey, I gotta love our listeners, right? David's 1760 Sports says there was a police chase that started in Bismarck, Andes, up heading to New Salem. Not sure what escalated the force, but it resulted in a shootout 2 days ago. All right, there's an update. So I will look into that because I'm curious. I haven't even heard about it.
You were in a tractor.
Probably, and didn't have 550 on that day. Evidently, I would have thought I would have heard about it on there. But so yeah, thank you for bringing that to our town. I'm kind of curious. New Salem. I mean, I know where that's at. That ain't too far away. It's not a big town, guys. That's a little town. So, oh,
So there we go.
it says I believe it was a person from Dickinson that run from the cops, and they put spikes out, and he ran and then started shooting at cops, and cops were a better shot than the other fellow. That's what I heard. Okay. So, well, you know what I'd like to know is were they any legal? Were they, were they from here? What, I'd like to know more of that story.
Well, why were they running? Yeah, I mean, that's what I want to know too. It's like, there's something there.
So, Brian Warner's Nicholas Kirby from Dickinson. I'm guessing that might be what he was saying there. He sent 2 messages. So that's we're getting some details now. So interesting. I'd really love to know what the motive was of that one. Did he die? Does anyone know that? I mean, like I said, this is breaking news for me on here.
Well, I guarantee you'll have all the information by the time you get on Friday with KFYR. So yeah, there you go.
Probably have to talk about
it. Speaking about talking about the future, if you got a few moments on this one, 701 Nation, of course, Jamie out there, he's got a new show coming up Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central. He's got a couple of subjects for us already. Body armor options for men and women. Are you in deer dragging shape? And I got to tell you, I don't think I am. That's why I have a younger son right now to pull things for me. And he's got a happy ending story for us as well coming up. I guess that would be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central.
All right. Yeah, I was going to do one tonight, but I'm going to let Jamie do it. I think that never gets old hearing about how self-defense has saved people. But I did have a couple of them, but I'm going to save them. So, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. All kinds of. Okay. So Nicholas Kirby from Dickinson is believed his girlfriend was in the vehicle with him. Brian says, yep, 43 years old. He died. Yes, he's dead.
As Eric has pointed out, he has resumed room temperature. So
room temperature, as Rush used to say. So, all right. Well, that's like I said, I didn't know anything about that. You don't hear about stuff like that happening, especially around here. Not very often.
Well, it must have more to it because if they're clamping down on the social media post on it, then there must be something going on. So,
so Jamie and I were talking a little today about are you in shape for deer dragging? I said, I don't have to be, but I'm definitely in good enough shape to drive my pickup over there where it dropped and throw it in the back. So
I'm trying to figure out what Gene on this one is.
no one is
in deer shape. I'm thinking I can wait memes on that one. So
yeah, I know I'm not in very good shape. Yeah, Brian, I like what he said about that. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's right. Axe actually has a great sign out there by his range, and FAFO.
Yeah.
Find out. So,
well,
all right.
Yeah.
So anyway, and one other thing I'm going to touch on before we leave tonight, and I'm probably going to go into a little more on this on Friday. I'm going to send this one to Todd because I like it too. That's an Illinois federal district court judge. He ruled that the state's ban on carrying firearms on public transportation, guess what it does? Violates Second Amendment protections. The plaintiffs, of course, they sued because there's a law in Illinois that prevents them from this. They sued on the basis of which decision do you think, Mike? Bruin.
There you go. Everything's Bruin. Yep.
And preventing carrying firearms on public transportation. Illinois passed this. It's called the Illinois Firearm Concealed Carry Act, which placed restrictions on concealed carry of guns. Many view this as a move to rebuke. It was kind of a big old middle finger to the Supreme Court. I think it was because they passed it right after that. And
Right.
Chicago, they've got some of the dumbest, hardest gun control laws. I mean, you have to have a FOID card. We've talked about that before on here. So they sued on this. Essentially, the judge agreed with them and said that no, they haven't met what is considered, the burden, the first step to Bruin, to see if the law is consistent with the original text of the Second Amendment. If the burden falls to the plaintiffs to prove the Second Amendment covers the person and the arms in question. The plaintiff in this case is a law-abiding citizen over the age 18, which makes him a member of the political class. These distinctions mean that the man is part of the people, as mentioned in the Second Amendment, and the arms in question are handguns. These are also protected arms, as SCOTUS actually affirmed this in Heller. So since the first step of Bruin was satisfied in the eyes of the district court judge, the burden shifts to the state to prove that the law is consistent with historical and traditional firearms regulations. I'm not going to go through all this, but the judge found that it does not meet the requirements. Therefore, he threw it out as a violation of Second Amendment protection. And he basically applied it to public transportation, and he talked about how it could apply to anything public, whether it be a public building, public school, anything that's public, because it does not carry or meet the burden. I found that part very, very interesting because we were just talking about this. I think it was last week, or no, it was on Mitchell in the Morning last week. Does the state of North Dakota have laws that ban things in public buildings, and is it constitutional? We know in South Dakota they can't do that. I had that whole fight in Sioux Falls with them.
Right.
Found out in North Dakota that they do. So now with this, and we'll see where this goes. I'm sure Illinois is going to appeal this, and I want to see where this goes because if this makes it up to the Supreme Court, I imagine they're going to rule in favor of the plaintiff. That's going to change a lot of laws in every state. They're not going to be able to do it in civic centers or event centers. Nothing that the government owns will be able to restrict your Second Amendment, and that's how it should be, as far as I know. So this is going to make it very, very interesting. I'm going to be watching this case. That's why I wanted to bring it up because it sounds like a minute little case in Illinois on public transportation for one guy.
Got big ramifications.
But the judge's decision and what he stated in the judgment, he's applying it and saying that this is going to apply to anything that's publicly owned. That's the important part. So I'll keep everybody posted on that, and I'm going to dig a little more because I think I'm going to mention this. And I brought that up because the state fair in North Dakota decided to put metal detectors in and basically take away your fundamental right. And I don't know if that fairgrounds area is leased or if it's owned by the state. That gets fishy too, and that puts a little minute little monkey wrench in there. But stay tuned because I'm going to find out.
I got the same thing getting ready to happen at the Corn Palace. They're talking about it for the next couple of years. So metal detectors and whatnot. So that's going to change some things around as well.
Well, I can tell you this there. I know what South Dakota's law is. Who owns the Corn Palace?
The Corn Palace is owned by the city.
Okay, they cannot ban firearms in the state of South Dakota. It's a preemption law. You can't have anything tougher than the state. The state bans it. Now, that being said, private events that come into a facility and lease it and rent it, such as a civic center.
Right.
That room that they rent, which is really only one at the Corn Palace, they can request it, and it's only for the time frame that they have the rental agreement.
Right.
That I do know. And I think that's but that's legally, that's all they can do now.
Well, it's one of those things where obviously getting up in front of the city council. So I got a mayor now that kind of listens. So it's kind of nice to have one of those for a change. So,
but to just do metal detectors for everything, they can't do it, especially if it's a function, if it's a sporting event, if it's a public event, no, they can't do it. So the difference if you're selling private tickets to a private event like a concert,
Right.
but not tickets that are by a team that's a public entity, most likely, especially if it's a school activity. Just because it's a school sport doesn't make them gun free.
That's
It's
right.
not at school. But yeah. All right. So anyway, I guess I just wanted to kind of get to that.
No, that's good.
But you know that's probably what's coming up on the agenda. One of the items this Friday, Mitchell in the morning, every Friday, 5:50 a.m. at 7:15 Mountains, 8:15. There you go, 8:15 Central. Me and Todd, we shake it out. We talk. We went down some rabbit holes last week. We went out about Minnesota and how it burned under walls, which hey, that needs to be done because walls is such a anti-gunner. It's just not even crazy or not even worth mentioning it. But, and there you are, Mike. You're not with
I
us.
know. I don't get to appear anymore.
Yeah, maybe one of these other. We need to get it on your radio station and then just put it, simultaneously put them on both.
I'd go for that. Yeah,
I mean, they're an iHeart radio station, right?
No, we're
You're
not.
not.
That's
Okay.
that's where it gets a little tough. But
I
yeah,
see.
that's right.
All right. Doug Wolf says dragging deer is what God invented four-wheelers.
And I actually believe Doug 100% on that. As at this age, I'm totally agreement with that one. So go for that. Yeah.
And Gene Cox says amen. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I don't have a whole lot. I mean,
I have one.
My stuff.
I have one final thing. Of course, Mitchell in the morning coming up on Friday. Also, we're going to talk about what our new times are going to be. We're trying to think whether we want to go back or stay at this later time, but we'll figure that out here soon and let everybody
I think
know.
we're going to run this through at least the end of September.
Right.
I mean, we got good numbers. I've been watching the numbers. They've even been going up throughout the show, which is great. I'm probably pretty sure we'll have a badass next week, right?
I will have a badass. I already have it voiced and everything. I just have to put it together. Someday we're going to have to actually hire somebody that I voice everything and send them the pictures and they can put it all together. So,
yeah. So next week, I don't know. I'm going to get a hold of John over there at Little Man Angry Arms and see what day he wants to do. Whether he wants to do it on the 11th or the 18th. So one of them 2 days, we're going to try to do have him on as a guest and talk about suppressors. So, I think we're going to talk about the time change. I do like especially all summer. It's been great for me, especially. By the way, September 17th, everybody, Constitution Day. Don't forget that. Constitution Day, September 17th.
There you go.
I'll never forget it because I was born on that day.
There you go. He's reminding everybody, by the way, if you're sending gift cards, there you go.
Yeah. Jamie says he's staying 8 p.m. Central year round. There you go. So
he likes it. He likes it. Hey, I do have one thing before we go, and that is the simple fact that I'm thinking about making this maybe a once in a while feature, kind of like our Thug Slugs and the Badass and different things. We always have people out there that love animals. All animals, they're great. It's like a Disney movie. If I sing to the animals, they'll come to me. Well, I've got to play this for you real quick, just because I love the mentality of some people and animals. So this one, Clay, is for you. And
come here. It's cold. I know. You're freezing. Got a lot of fur though. Ow, motherfucker! Son of a bitch got me. Ow! Goddamn coyotes!
There you go. You got to mute there, Rod. There you go.
Oh my God!
You're cold. Bring him. Come here. You're cold.
Oh, you're cold. Bring him in, right?
Yeah, bring him in. Yeah, there you go.
That was great, though. It really was.
Boy, he changed his tune real fast. Goddamn coyotes. There you go.
He acted like he knew it was a coyote, though.
Yeah, well, there you go.
In a way.
Anyway, there you go. So I thought I'd share that with everybody here this time because it's always a good one.
Well, I do got to show you one more thing here.
Oh, okay.
I thought I'd bring this up, and we'll leave everybody with this tonight. I thought it was kind of funny. And I'm going to bring it up here. Here we go. There, we will share that. Have you seen this picture yet?
Oh, I have. Yeah, I have.
And I guess it's true. This is the Walls family. This is his brother. And they are not fans of his brother or Kamala running for president and vice president. I guess his brother actually put a whole thing out there about it, too. So I got to go find what that was. But I got this sent to me several times. And I'm like, I'm going to put that up there. And Yeah, the Walls family, Nebraska Walls is for Trump. They're backing Trump 100%, and they're not afraid to tell anybody. So,
There you go.
you know, there's you gotta really think about that. When your own family members will not support you, you got to stop and ask: is there a problem here? I mean, to me, it's going to raise a red flag. Now, I would go get all the information on it, but yeah, it's kind of a red flag to me.
Well, my wife loves me, but she didn't always support me. But it's the same thing.
Jamie says, "Bring back Clay's commie companies and patriot companies." I'm already working on one, guys. I just didn't. I'm going to probably bring them back here in a couple weeks. I've been getting a lot of requests for that, and you're right. It's probably time to bring that back. And really, it's kind of been interesting to see a bunch of these big companies go down in flames on their DEI, which is just to me another commie company. And unfortunately, John Deere, Ford, all Lowe's, companies like that. Harley Davidson, really? Harley Davidson.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. I know everybody loves their Harleys out there, but every single piece of a Harley Davidson is made in China or overseas, and then they bring it to the Canadian border and ship it down in here and assemble it here, and they call it an American product. It hadn't been an American product in 20-something years, and they can all kiss my ass on that one. That's
well,
just a joke.
they heard from their customer base, and I can tell you this: it wasn't good. They switched very quickly about their wokeness and their DEI. Even with my battle with the school, we won that one. We won a battle. I imagine the war will still rage, but I did win that, and I'm not gonna tolerate it either. And I won't do business with companies that have this crap. DEI has no place anywhere. If you want to be a business, create it, do your thing, make money for your shareholders, and then employ your employer. Keep your employees paid. I mean, that's your function. Make a product, sell it, make a profit, take care of your employees, and move on with life. You do not need to have diversity, inclusion, and equity. Piss off. Guns in a 701 is not a DEI corporation. I guarantee that. Nor will we ever be.
It's pretty much a sure bet there. I think that on that one, though.
I'd burn it to the ground first. I'd go out with a blaze of glory. You know how that.
Yep.
Anyway, so I don't have anything else to just hey, start Friday day. Don't forget on Friday we're going to be on Mitchell in the morning as always, and 8:15 Central, 7:15 Mountain in the morning, and of course Wednesday night. Jamie's got Thursday night. This Thursday, right?
Right.
701 Nation. So yeah. We're out there. What's Jamie has Meyer Kawasaki Mule assembled in Nebraska. There you go.
There you go.
Even the John Deere Gators guys are junk. They got Chinese motors, just so you know that. Nothing on that is made here either.
Cadillac. The engine, 100% from Chinese companies. They bring it here, they assemble it, they put it in the thing, and American made. Shut up. Just shut up. Yeah. I think, in 1972, they rescinded a law that said that advertisement has to be honest. And then you used to have to be able to back up your claims. Now you can say any goddamn thing, and pretty much it'll just be a flat out lie. And they're like, well, that's just the way it is. Deal with it. And I think
same thing with beef, guys. If you see American beef stamped somewhere, it only has to be fed in this country. I believe it's 30 days, and it can come up from Mexico, and that's why all them feedlots went in down there along the border. Shipping in Mexican and South American beef, feeding it for 30 to 60 days. And guess what? Oh, we have American beef again. So when you see McDonald's and Walmart and all these places advertise that they're getting American beef, they're not. That's a fact. It's coming from usually South America. And if it's in Walmart, Walmart has their own huge feedlots now, which is a problem in itself. They're trying to dictate it to people like us how to raise our beef.
Yeah.
They're not even buying our beef. Most of that's that South American crap. Go into Sam's Club and buy a tube of that ugly looking hamburger. And then once you cook it, take the water and the fat out of it, it's about this. It's garbage. It's junk. And yeah, it might be a cheaper price, but you get what you pay for, and you truly do when it comes to meat.
There you go.
So,
well, I got a song to go out, and that's about it. And then you can pretty much, we'll see you on Friday, of course, Mitchell in the morning on KFYR. And
absolutely.
Next week, we'll have another badass, and we'll be good to go. Jamie tomorrow night. And of course, It's Guns in the 701. Don't forget to check out our back catalogs and stuff at gunsinthE701.com. We've got stuff there as well, including our store. We got the QR code up there that you can donate us a little cash. You can always use that as well. You want me to hit the song?
Well, I was just going to, Dave, he mentioned Tyson's Foods is the packer for Walmart. Yeah, Tyson's not a
There you
friend
go.
of ours at all. So,
At all.
yeah, hit the music, and we will call tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hey, eat some beef, drink some milk. Hey, have a great day and have a great weekend. See everybody
There you go.
next week.
Hey, by the way, as Clay always says,
keep your powder dry.
There we go.
Player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. But you gotta. I mean, we gotta reassure. Look, here, my message to everybody I talk to.
We have some breaking news as President Joe Biden has just announced that he is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race.
Bye, bye, Biden. Not gonna miss you, no. Bye, bye, Biden. Hasta la vista, Joe. We know you were senile, even AOC could see. And though you said you weren't, your donors disagreed. Bye, bye, Biden. It's out to pasture now.
Resolve our difference at the battle box. You know, that's how we do it, at the battle box.
Time to say good.